Hey guys. Today's video is going to be about, well, acceptance. It's about accepting that fact that you have depression or a mental illness. Because if you can't accept that it's a part of your life, then it'll almost be, it's like fighting an inner battle against yourself. And honestly, at least this is all everything I say in all my videos applies to really to me and my experience. So don't think I'm preaching or telling you how you should live, because everyone's journey is different. But for me, the biggest first step I could take was acknowledging that there was something not right with me, and after that, I was able to take the steps that I was able to get to that place where I am now, which is a whole lot better than where I was. So for me, it's about acknowledging and recognizing that I'll probably be like this forever. And that, well, just because I get down and I have my horrible moods doesn't mean I'm a freak or a bad person or anything. It just means I'm different, which I've decided to wholeheartedly embrace. But for me, it's about recognizing when I'm going to have what I call an episode, which is when, for no reason at all whatsoever, some depressing thoughts descend upon you or whatever. Like I call it the darkness. So for me it was for me it's when I like, I have to be very open with the people who I see regularly in my life about it. So I just tell them, well, look, I've got this and that, and every now and then I might get a little bit quiet, I might withdraw into myself. Doesn't mean I'm not interested or whatever, it just means that's how I have to cope with being me. And so for me, it was about finding ways to control the symptoms. So say I'm at school, I'm like with my classmates or whatever, and I start feeling it coming on. I'll put my headphones on, and I'll completely close out all outside influences in a way. And because I don't know about you guys, but music is a big, the people who really know me know how I'm feeling by what I'm listening to. So when I'm feeling something particularly dark coming on, I'll put my headphones on and I'll listen to something. Like, I've got a few songs that I know will perk me up, whether it be the lyrical content's really nice or just the beat or the sound or whatever it is. The point is, it helps to perk me up again. And so put my headphones on, listen to my song, just tune out for a little bit, and it helps alleviate and fight back this irrational darkness that often sweeps over people who suffer from things like this. And, well, because at the end of the day, if you're not willing to try and find a means of leveling out, whether it be your medication or whatever, for me, I would just withdraw from the world. Like, I'd never leave the house, I'd never speak to people, I'd never do the things which really do make me happy, which is connecting with other people. And so it's really about finding what works best for you, whether it be getting on a video and blogging about your feelings, or even just typing it up, or writing a diary, or... The point is, well, you've got to stop. You've got to not be so hard on yourself, and you've got to accept that maybe there is something that makes you not like everybody else. But in my opinion, that's not such a bad thing. For me, I see the fact that what I feel is like extremes. So whether it be like love or anger or whatever, it's very extreme. It's never a little or a little, it's always a lot. And I chose to embrace that. And I chose to I choose to see the things in myself, in the world. I choose to focus on the things that I like, or the things that are more positive than, say, doing what comes naturally for me, which is fixating on the negative shit. Which never really helps anybody. It especially doesn't help me, and it especially doesn't help the people who are in my life. Because I used to always withdraw, and I'd never speak about anything, and I'd always feel like no one would understand. and that I was a freak and I was a lunatic and crazy and all that type of thing. And well, the biggest single step I took, and I only found this through the therapy, through actually speaking to somebody about it, was that I'm not so bad. Like, I'm not. Just because I'm different doesn't mean that I'm a bad person or I don't deserve like happiness or love or any of that sort of thing. It's about, well, understanding yourself. It's about understanding yourself really, and understanding yourself and understanding the situations that you choose to put yourself in. Well, for me, a long time ago, when I was unhappy, that's when I'd start drinking, or I'd start doing the drugs, or I'd go out and meet a girl and have lots of sex, whatever it was. But really, they were all just crutches. Little ways of self-medicating to distract myself from what was really deep down inside, which is a lot of self-loathing and a lot of, well, me feeling like I'm not good enough. Good enough for job opportunities, good enough for a real meaningful relationship, good enough for real good friends. And the people who really tried to be there for me, who really wanted, because they cared. And there's a lot of people, when, at least for me, when I'm at my darkest and people are really trying to help, I push them away because I don't want to burden them with my feelings. But when you allow yourself to express how you feel and open up to another human being, look, not everyone's going to understand. And a lot of people, when you're trying to, like, say, pour your heart out or talk, a lot of people try and solve your problems. But the point is, it's not really a problem. There's no quick fix to this. There's no instant thing. As much as we would all like, we can't flick a switch and not feel like we do. So it's about taking little steps and doing everything you can every day to try and, well, improve your own life. Like for me, I haven't had a job in almost 2 years now, or actually over 2 years. And I try not to think about that too much because it gets me down. It makes me feel like I'm a loser, and that, like, you know, why would anyone want to love a guy like me? Because I don't feel like I'm good enough. But really, like, I'm me, and I'm not perfect, and I have a lot of stuff still stewing on up here. But at the end of the day, you've got to forgive yourself for being who you are, because that's who we are. It's something that's in our brain. And sometimes I feel that maybe I should go back on the medication, and sometimes just to level me out, just to stabilize things. But really, I've found means for myself, whether it be watching a movie I know I like. Like, I really love horror movies, so I'll watch slasher stuff and giggle about that sort of thing. But it's about you doing what's best for you. Don't worry about what other people think, because people are going to believe what they want to believe no matter what. And we're all raised to have this idea of what makes success and happiness. And for a long, long time, I tried to live up to those expectations. And whenever I didn't, it was another reason to be depressed and another reason to want to die or whatever else it was. Or just another excuse to get shit-faced. And so I came to a point when, like, I decided, well, enough is enough. And it was time for a change. Because a lot of people, I'm naturally a very clingy person. Like, if I connect with another person, I have this natural urge to just hold on tight. And it's happened a number of times where I've almost strangled the life out of a relationship or a friendship or whatever, because of my dire need to cling on tight to something. And look, in many ways, I'm still like that. But the fact that I'm conscious of it means that I'm much further ahead than I could be. Like, than I would be, I mean. And so, for me, it's about and this applies to you guys too. You got to find something, whether it be something simple or something complicated. For me, it's my writing, and I love my nerdy shit. Like, I'll watch some Doctor Who episodes. Like, I've watched them all countless times, and I still love it every time I watch it. And so it's something. Don't worry about what other people think. It's about what you think. Because at the end of the day, if you can't learn to love yourself, then how can you expect other people to really? Because if you're putting on a front or wearing a mask, which I'll cover in a later video, it's really, the battle is yours to be won, and don't expect a quick fix, and don't expect things. Like, for me, it's like I've been in therapy for almost what, 2.5, 3 years now, and look, I like to think that I'm much better, and I am, but I've still got a whole long way to go. But through learning about myself and learning to understand myself, I've been able to control the emotion stuff more because I'm conscious of it, and that it's hard. It's so hard sometimes. It can be the most difficult thing. Like, I have days when I don't even want to get out of bed. Like, I want to lie in bed and cry. And for me, because I've been bottling up feelings for so long, I can't cry when I'm sad, which is when you really, really need to cry. Because you need that outlet. You need to release. Like, I can cry when I'm happy. It's weird, but that's me. That's how I am. And I'm not that bad. I actually quite think in my bright moments, I think I'm quite awesome, because I am very much me, and I'm very happy with me. And so that's really and I feel like I'm preaching, and I feel like I'm telling you guys what to do, but really it's about, what I want to do is share myself and what worked for me, or what works for me, not worked. And it's a battle you'll always fight. It's probably a battle you fight till the end of your days. And I intend to live for a long bloody goddamn time. Pardon my French. But it's not easy, but you really learn who your real friends are, and you'll learn, because for me, my feelings were hurt quite a lot over the years, because I thought I was closer to people than I really was, because I saw them every week. We went out partying together and that sort of thing. Really, people like that are more like acquaintances. The real friends are the people who will make an effort, and they'll reach out, or even, it's not even, and for anyone who doesn't suffer from depression but they know someone who does, it's not that hard to pick up the phone and just say, hey, how you going? Like, I know it's hard to understand when someone's going through a very dark period and all they talk about is negative stuff, but sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to get it off our chest and just vent. It's the people who always complain about the same old thing all the time, and they never change, and they never try to get better. That's the people, I lose my cool with those people, because if you're unhappy, change your fucking life. Seriously, even if it's something small. For me, it was deciding that I wanted to be better, and deciding that, drinking never helped me. All drinking ever did was get me in trouble. I still enjoy a drink every now and then, but I don't really get too drunk, because I know my limits. And I know that I hit that point where I know if I have one more drink, all the negative stuff, once it pops in my head, I can't be able to think about it rationally, and then it becomes this gigantic crisis. So it's about knowing your limits. It's about accepting yourself for who you are, warts and all, because I don't give a shit how beautiful some people are. Everyone's got a fucking flaw, and nobody's perfect. And really reach out. Like, when I was younger, I had like 20 or 30 friends, but now I've got about 3 or 4 good friends that I know I can count on. And for a while, I was quite depressed about that. But in reality, I'd rather have 3 or 4 friends I can trust than 20 or 30 people who don't really know who I am, and only know the fun guy that I can be when I want to be, or when I decide to be. And so, yeah. I've decided while recording this video, because I never planned it, I just kind of turned on the camera and started talking, that I'm actually going to start planning things to say now. So it doesn't feel so incoherent, and because I listened to my last video and there's a few too many ums in there, like, I'm trying to think of what to say. So, yeah, stick with me if you can. And if you like the video, can you like it for me? Because really, I'd like to be able to spread the message. And, yeah. And if you want to keep going more, feel free to subscribe and all that type of thing. But I'm out of here. I'm probably going to record another one in the next few days. Probably going to cover a bit more about depression, maybe even about the stigmas of being unemployed. But I'll see what happens. Right, see you later, guys.